Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. We'd like to welcome you to a new episode of the Fountain of Wisdom and Knowledge podcast. We are your hosts. I am Mr. Raphael II.
And I'm Truman Lewis.
And as always, we use this podcast as a beacon of knowledge, logic, wisdom, truth, and understanding, business, and personal development. Before we get started, we want to give a shout out to our sponsor for the podcast, Go Get Dash. Go Get Dash is a ride share and delivery app, same as Uber, same as Lyft. They just take a little bit of a different approach to it as far as who they serve and the market niche as far as the delivery end of it. So if it be your will and desire to generate some income for yourself, please, we implore you, go to the Google Play and Apple Store today. Download the Go Get Dash, all one word, driver app, and it's there for you. And if you would like to engage as a rider, Go Get Dash, the rider app is there for you as well. Thank you again to Go Get Dash for sponsoring the podcast. How we doing today, brother?
Man, I'm good. I always say fired up, ready to go.
Hey, I got you.
Ready to go.
I got
That's
you.
That's
So
right.
with with the development of the podcast, man, this is episode 8. We're looking good, man. We just steady on the building end of it. And, sometimes like we talked about the weary road.
Yeah.
We talked about, all these different things. So with today's title came with the true test and stuff. It was one true test, but we'll say the true test.
The true test. Okay.
And we said the true test because I was just doing some thinking the other night, and I was just like, the test isn't when you're not doing what you're supposed to do and you're not getting the results that you want, because you're just standing in your way. You're standing in your own way at that point. The test is when you're doing what you're supposed to do and you're still not seeing the results. That's the test. That's the test that, when you're taking the phone calls and you're sending the emails and you're showing up for the meetings and you're showing up on time for the meetings and you're working all night and then getting up early in the morning and starting it all over again, and you might not even see like a 1% increase or things being 1% better, but you still have to wake up and do it.
True.
I think that's the test. I honestly believe that's the test. That's the thing. Like, do you really want it?
Do you want it?
And I know both of us have lived through, especially in the last few months, some stories that we have. But like, just talk to me about that. Talk to me about the just finding the will to keep going, and in spite of it all, just finding the will to keep to keep walking. You know what I'm saying?
Man, that's a good one. That's a good one, Mr. Raphael. I look at it like this. One of my favorite self-development coach or mentor, Mr. Jim Rohn, he's dead now. One of the things that he said that it's not about getting $1 million. You can get $1 million and you can lose it in the process.
Yeah.
You can get $1 million, 2 times lose it, 3 times lose it. However, it's what you become on your way to getting that $1 million. It's the process. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got murderers that got their money by extorting people. They got $1 million, but look at what they became in the process.
Right.
An extortioner, a drug dealer, a murderer, whatever it may be. What do you become in the process? And I believe that even though you can't see that 1% sometime, but just going through the motion, the habitual process of continuing to move forward despite it all,
right,
is what you're becoming. This is getting you ready for the bigger test. Yes, it's the test. Everything is a test or the test for what you're involved in at the time.
right.
But what is the ultimate test? Character is built when nobody is around.
Right.
Understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'll get into it a little later, but
nah, that's good. You talked about what you become. So, I mean, we're going back to the journey, right? They always talk about how life is a journey, and they say this is what they say. It doesn't feel good to listen to, but this is what they say. They say it's not about the destination; it's about the journey.
Absolutely.
And I think I said it before. Like the journey sucks.
It does. It does.
the journey is not fun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What I'm saying? And growth is painful. And becoming a person who, in spite of the $1 million, you maintain your morals, your moral standing, and becoming a person that, in spite of the $1 million, you don't allow your ego to overtake you.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying? And even in the building of character, is like, everyone has flaws, but you don't allow your flaws to overtake your character.
True.
You understand what I'm saying? So, in that vein, like, I guess what are you looking to become along this road? Like, what are some of the things that you're looking to add or subtract from who you are presently?
My biggest purpose is to be a servant of God first.
Okay.
I always want to tell individuals what it takes to come to Christ. That's number one. I want to be a great provider for my family. Number two.
All right.
But I always want to be able to give without it hurting. Philanthropy. I want to be able to give,
yes, sir,
again, without worrying how my bills look.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm talking about not just my house bill. God bless us in those areas. I'm talking about any type of thing that we take on as a bill.
Right.
Family,
Right.
friends. I want to be in that position again, that my ecology map, I call it my ecology map.
Right.
Family, friends, neighbor and neighborhood, city and state. When I can truly make sure those individuals in that ecology map is good, then I can start doing work abroad. I want to be in a position where I can affect everything around me, both spiritually, mentally, and physically. And you have to do that through the process. Yeah. It's a process.
Because I mean, that caring, because that's all it is. You just care about other people.
Absolutely.
You're a servant at heart. But that's easy to lose if you, like you said, if you're not developing that character along the way. So if money is my golden bar or my light in the darkness, in reaching for that, am I losing that caring?
Absolutely.
Am I losing that, that care for other people that want to actually give money to a homeless person? You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I probably answered that too fast. It all depends. Your why has to be big enough, right?
Yeah.
So if your why is specifically money only, then you're going to miss the whole picture.
Right.
Because there has to be something behind that why that's going to be sustainable.
Yeah, it has to be bigger.
It has to be bigger.
Yeah.
Give you a prime example. Steve Harvey, he said that a bunch of billionaires invited him to a seminar.
Right.
His question to those billionaires was, listen, I'm just a multimillionaire.
Right.
I am not a billionaire. Why would you invite me to your seminar to talk to you got everything. You got the prestige. You got the money. You got the house. You got everything that comes with it. Why did you pick me? And it goes back to what you said. It's not about the destination, it's the journey.
Right.
That was their response. Their response was, we woke up one day being rich. We inherited all of our money. But see, the difference in you, Mr. Harvey, you was born broke. You got more real estate at that time than a lot of individuals that was on television. We want to know, how is it that you were able to build yourself from not having anything to have the prestige you have? Because guess what? We don't know if we was to lose everything today, how would we get back here? See, so it's a story for everybody. Yeah. It's the journey. Yeah. See, they took his journey to help them with the destination where they are, just in case they would have fallen from grace.
Sheesh. I remember someone, affluent guy, told my dad that one time. He was envious of the fact that my dad had come from nothing, And as a kid, I was like, "What? What do you mean? Like, how do you? Why would you have money? You have this, all this stuff. You could snap your fingers and have the world delivered to you on a silver platter. Why would you be envious of this man who came from nothing?" And the reason was, he said, because you earned it. You earned it.
Look at the tax code. Earn income. It's something that you had to do to get to where you are.
Right.
You've been tried. You understand?
Yeah.
That's why we have to always hail and exalt our process. Because it's who you become in the process.
Right.
We can't miss that. I told you before. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I don't mean to cut you, but I mean that's hard. That's one of the hardest things you can do, man. That's one of the hard, because like I tell you about the conversation I had with a friend of mine, Martin Lee. He made mention of how, when you have your eyes on the destination, they tell you to don't take your eyes off the prize, but you miss everything around you.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of pain and a lot of frustration and aggravation, but it's a lot of beauty in that journey as well. But it's hard to focus on the beauty when it's like, I just want to get to this destination. I just want to get to the destination. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's because my belief is that's because we give our destination the sum total of our journey. You understand? Even though the whole is greater than the sum of its parts, you got to realize that it took the part to make the whole.
Yeah.
The whole being the destination. Yeah. They say, on your good days, be good. On your bad days, be better.
Yeah.
See, it's the end result. And I don't care who you are. Most people, end result is the money. So they look at success based on money than just looking at everything that's around them. Who did you help in the process? Who did you teach in the process? What knowledge did you gain throughout the process?
Yeah.
What type of individual have you become in the process? What have you learned in the process? Because if I went to sleep broke today and wake up a multi-billionaire tomorrow and didn't get anything along the way, I'm just going to lose it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't gain any skill sets along the way, but scratching off a ticket.
Yeah. And you'd be worse off then than you were before you got
Absolutely.
it. That's crazy.
But it takes talking about these things.
Yeah.
To me, true wealth is the things that we have that we can't get again. Health, eyesight, arms, feet, toes. There's a young lady that I call my mother, an older lady that I call my mother. She had her toes cut off. And she said, Truman, start naming all your faculties. She said, because when they cut your toes off, that's a part of you that's separated forever.
Yeah.
See, it's what you become. She would have never said that if she didn't went through that process. If she didn't went through the journey of diabetes and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So it's a journey, but we gotta understand that the journey is part of the destination.
Yeah. And I mean, even putting yourself in a situation where you like understand, and that's the part that hits me a lot. It's like I'm one that I always try to seek understanding in whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? And when you can't really find that understanding, man, at least for me, it's demoralizing, because it's like I was like, why? Like I'm always asking why. Like it's either like outward or in my head. It's like why? And I was watching something on YouTube, and one of the YouTubers said something. He was like, "It's not always meant for you to understand.
True.
It's for you to get." What you're supposed to get, you'll understand it later.
Absolutely.
But in the moment, it's not really necessarily meant for you to understand it. And that, for me, that drives me crazy, because it's like, as a person who chases purpose, I like if my hands are open, like, okay, what do I do now? You know what I'm saying? So like, talk to me about that. Like, talk to me about lacking understanding or being in a situation where it doesn't make sense. It's like, man, I like good Lord, what did I do to deserve this? You know what I'm saying? Like putting yourself in that situation and then making your way through that.
My belief is, you said understanding. You're one that looks for understanding in your purpose, right? It goes back to your why. What's your why? Why are you doing what you're doing?
Right.
Scripture say, in all your gettings, get an understanding, right? So my belief is, where do you get the understanding from? Just like what you said. I tell people, and I'm always say this, Scripture, the Bible itself, is one of the greatest, is the greatest roadmap you can get. It tells you thing in broad. Ask me anything, and I don't care what it is. I can give you a scripture for it in some way, shape, form, or fashion.
Right.
That'll give you a starting point, right? So the scripture saying, all your gettings, get an understanding. Understanding of what? Understanding of what you want to become. If you want to be a violinist, you study those individuals that played violin and has perfected it. Right? If you want to be a great photographer, I'm sure there's individuals that you deal with. Right? If you want to be a great business individual, just all around well business individual, you study those individuals that teaches that.
Right.
But you have to start from that. One of the things I heard somebody say this, I believe it's Shaquille O'Neal. He said when he knew absolutely nothing about business, guess what the first thing he did? He went and got a book called Business for Dummies.
Yeah, I heard this story.
You see what I'm saying? So you have to, it's all about knowing that you don't know it all. But as you continue to make forward movement, forward strides, you're going to meet people along that same vein, along that same journey, that you can ask questions. Hey, how did you get over this hump?
Yeah.
Hey, it's not knowing everything that makes the journey worth it. If you knew that you was going to die tomorrow, if you knew, Mr. Raphael, that you had 24 hours to live, what would money mean to you?
Nothing.
I'm going to say that again. If you knew you had 24 hours to live, what would money mean to you? Nothing. Absolutely. So treat every day like you don't have money. You're going to love the person that you come in contact with, you're going to love them better. Huh?
Yeah.
Even if you knew the person next to you only had 24 hours to live, you would treat him or her differently.
Yeah.
I'm saying we have to go through life, no matter what it is, with or without money, with that same mentality.
Yeah. That's crazy. And going back to your point, I don't know if I talked about this before, but I had a conversation with a friend of mine's mom. She had a heart attack a few years ago, and I was just kind of being funny, and being facetious or whatever. I asked her, I said, "So did your life flash before your eyes?" And she said, "Yeah, but it was all her regrets."
Ooh.
It was all the regrets that she had.
Wow.
All the things that she hadn't done, all the things that she didn't see, all the places she didn't go. And from that point, it was just like, for me, it was just like taking an account of, I mean, what does a car payment mean when you grab your chest?
Absolutely nothing.
You know what I'm saying? What does a mortgage mean when you've lost?
Absolutely nothing.
And then just understanding that, society forces us to care about certain things. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But you don't want to neglect to appreciate the small, like a sunshine. Like after that, just seeing a blue sky, you know what I'm saying, and enjoying a sunny day, that has become the world to me. You understand what I'm saying? Just the small things. You know what I'm saying? And just being able to just live free and I doing your best. You understand what I'm saying? So, and kind of wrapping things up, like, talk to me about like the things that you appreciate now versus Truman in 2008.
How much time we got? Just give me about 2 or 3 minutes.
Right.
Listen, when I was in prison, man, and those of you out there in social media, you know my story. A lot of you guys do. I never knew how much just being able to hold your kids, hug your kids, kiss your wife or whatever it may be, just jump in the car, go down the road, be able to go outside and look at the stars when you want to.
Right.
In prison, you neglected from all those things. Why? Because you have to be inside a certain time. Because when darkness comes, guess what that means? You become a security risk. So you can't just sit there and look at the stars. You can't just walk barefoot. Somebody tell you when you can go to eat something. Somebody tell you, well, you can't share no food with Raphael. You share something with Raphael, I don't care. I don't care if he is your church brother. You can't give him anything. Because if you do, that's a shot. And that shot can get you sent to a higher security prison if they wanted to. Yeah. So in my conclusion, it's the little things, man. It's the little things, not being able to have this type of dialogue. Yeah. I told individuals, I'll take all the bills. You heard what I put in all the bills. I'll take all the bills in this world to be home with my family than to have my freedom taken away from me. Because guess what? As long as there's breath in the body, there's an opportunity.
Yeah, there's hope.
There's hope. So in my conclusion to you, Brother Raphael, yes, the road can be long.
Yeah.
Yes, the road can be weary. But ask the question, who's better suited for this than us? Do you want God to give it to that person next to us that can barely walk, that's already gone, that done lost a child? No, put it on me. Put it on us. The race is not given to the swift, nor to the strong, but to those that endure to the end. I told an individual the other day, she told me, I'm just so tired. I'm just so tired. I said, it's okay to be tired. When you're tired, rest. Because rest is not the same as stopping.
All right.
Just don't give up. Just don't give up.
Yeah, this has been a powerful talk. And getting back to, the journey and the tests that you go through, strength is built from those tests.
Absolutely.
Endurance is built through those tests.
Absolutely.
Grit is built through those tests. And those are the things that are going to, even after the money comes, because they say, what is it, new levels, new devils? Oh. And sometimes there are problems that money can't solve. And you get hit with those problems, and it's those character traits that you've built before you had the money, while you were on the road, while you were building the company, while you were, going through chemotherapy.
That's right.
You were going through the sickness, when you were dealing with the family issues. It was those character traits that kept you then, and it'll be those character traits that'll keep you at that particular moment.
Absolutely.
I know they say that money is the answer to all things, but I'm a firm believer that sometimes green dollars can't fix everything.
And it's only really talking about physical stuff.
Right, exactly.
Bills.
Right.
Those residual bills, that's what it's talking about.
As a matter of fact, there's a guy, Omi and the Hellcat. He's a big YouTuber. Shout out to him. He actually locked up right now.
Wow.
And he was saying a couple years ago in one of his videos, he was like, well, I'm rich and I can pay my bills, but I still go through the same thing everybody else does.
That's right.
I think you tend to think that, when you have all the stuff that society tells you to care about, you had a house and the cars and all that type of stuff, and you don't really have to worry about your phone bill and all that type of stuff. You tend to think that everything is perfect. But nah.
Absolutely not.
Nah. There's gonna be a test, and there's gonna be life is gonna punch you in the mouth the same way it would anybody else. It's just now there's not that thing, that that light bill, that phone
That's
bill,
right.
that mortgage.
Right.
That's gone. So now I have to find another way to punch you. I got to find another way to put you on the mat.
Yeah, but you got a whole lot of other problems. Guess what other problems you got? You got the problem of people knowing that you're rich. People want to extort you. People want to hurt your family. New levels come new devils.
People want to rob you. People want to steal from you.
I'm going to tell you another one. That fear of always having it and then wake up not having it. Woo.
Boy, you just hit
You
me
understand what I'm saying?
Just punch me.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes,
so
sir.
It's all. Don't think once you. That's why you have to always put yourself in a position to say, okay, when I get it, how do I give gracefully? How do I give intelligently without people knowing that I have it that would threaten me or my family or those closest to me? You got to ask God for that wisdom. See, if you just wake up one morning and you're rich, you're going to be a rich fool.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of them out here.
And then you put yourself in a situation where you say, Lord, I wish you didn't give me that money.
Yeah.
So it's what you become in the process.
Through the test.
Through the test, bro. Man, this was a good one, bro.
Man, this is wonderful.
This was a good one.
Like, if y'all didn't get anything out of this conversation, I would check yourself. Check yourself.
I'm trying, or listen to it again.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap it up. We want to thank you once again for joining us in another episode of the Fountain of Wisdom and Knowledge podcast, where we use this podcast as a beacon of knowledge, logic, wisdom, truth, and understanding, business and personal development. Once again, going back, please subscribe. Please share the content. We're in here. We're dropping jewels, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Diamonds and pearls all over the floor right now. So, and we're doing our best to affect the world in a positive manner and leave it better than it was before we came.
Absolutely. And
once again, we want to thank Go Get Dash for sponsoring the podcast. Once again, if you would like to develop a new form of income for yourself, Go Get Dash Driver. Go Get Dash, all one word, Driver. The Driver app is in the Apple Play and the Apple Store and the Google Play Store, as well as the Go Get Dash Rider app is there for all one word, Go Get Dash. And thank them again for sponsoring the podcast. And we love you once again, and we'll see you next week.